Number 1 wasn't a hard question. It just wasn't a 5th grade plotting a point question. What they had you do is take it a step further. They said Oscar buys his lunch in the school cafeteria. The cost of 15 lunches is $33.75. Which graph has a slope that represents this? You could plot this point, but the problem was 15 lunches didn't fit on the graph. They didn't give you a big enough graph. So what do? Write it down. You divide y divided by x to see how much one lunch will cost. Well, what's on the y-axis, lunches or cost? So this one's going to go on top, 33.75 divided by 15. And that's going to tell you how much one lunch costs. So type that in. And you get $2.25. That's the point you had to plot. $2.25 for one lunch. So which answer choice has one lunch costing $2.25? A. Why? Because one lunch is here. Here's 2, and you can see that it's slightly above that. So what do you do if it won't fit on the graph? Divide the two numbers. Y divided by x. Okay? Number 2. This one is one you cannot miss. You should have highlighted or underlined the clue word. What was the clue word? Volume and sphere. So where do I go? Star chart. I go to the section titled volume. I find the word sphere, which is right here, and I write this formula down. 4/3 pi r to the 3rd power. If you didn't write it down now. 4/3 pi r to the 3rd power. What's the only piece of this formula that I need? The r. What does r stand for? Radius. Did they give me a radius or did they give me all the way through? So what do I do to this number? What's 15 divided by 2? So the radius was 7.5. So all I had to do was plug 7.5 in for r. So I have 4/3 times pi times 7.5 to the 3rd power, and that's it. That'll be my answer. So type that in. And there we go, 1,767. So the answer was J. Do not miss that on the benchmark. Number 3, what was the clue word? What was the clue word on number 3? Slope. And right here on your star chart, it tells you how to find slope. Either this formula or rise over run. Which one of these would I use? Rise over run. Write it down. What am I finding the slope of? P to what? P to V. Well, here's P. Here's V. So all you had to do was, here's your rise right here. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. And what was your run? 1. Was PV going up or down? If I continue this line, what was it doing? So what does this have to have? A negative. So if I plot this on a griddable, because this was a griddable question, your negative would go here and 4 would go here, because 4 divided by 1 is 4. You have to read the question and find the clue word. Number 4. This one is so easy that if you miss this, I don't know what to tell you guys. What did I tell you when you see two lines that intersect? The answer is where they touch each other. This is your answer right there. You didn't even have to read the question. That's the answer. They tried to confuse you by giving you more than you needed. What goes first, the x or the y? So this is the x. What is it at? Well, the only possible answer is B. And then the y was positive 3. It's so easy, you cannot miss that. All right, number 5. A coach is ordering shirts for a team. The coach pays a one-time fee of $24. He also pays $8 for each shirt order. Did y'all see a clue word? What'd y'all see? Each. That means the 8 gets the, so 8x plus, I'm waiting, 8x plus 24. Which one says that? G. Another question you cannot miss. These are too easy. Number 6 is a challenging question. How did I teach y'all to do this? Highlight. Now, when you take the benchmark, you're not going to have highlighters. You're going to have, y'all know the little tools that we went through? The colored pencil tool would be the best option because the highlighter's only yellow. So you need highlighters. So I'm just going to get what I have. All right. Now, look at these shapes. Are they positioned the same or are they twisted? All right, so what I'm going to do is this 3 lines going towards the 2 lines this way. So 3 lines going towards the 2 lines would be this way. Y'all see what I did? All right, then I take another color. And I'm just matching the sides up that go together. And I think I'm out of colors, so the last one I'll just do like a squiggly line. So anytime you run out, you just do like hearts or squiggly lines or whatever. Now I go color coordinate my answers. So I have RS. Well, what color is RS? Green. I'm going to see if there are any more RSs. No. And then DE or ED. Do y'all see anything? Nope. All right, blue, I have ST or TS. Here's ST and FE or EF. It doesn't matter which way you say it. Now remember how to do this, right? TU and AF. Do you see another one? Y'all tell me if I forgot something. UV and AB. CD was a squiggly line. What's WR? A squiggly line. And CD was a squiggly line. And then what was WV? Yellow. All right. Which ones can I mark off right away because they're not color coordinated correctly? F's got to go because it's got 3 colors. Huh? J's got 3 colors. What else? What's wrong with G? They can't be across from each other. Y'all remember that? So it's out. So it has to be H. But what if I wasn't sure? Remember, you do big to small. So ST came from big. EF came from small. WR came from big and small, so those also line up. Y'all remember how to do this, right? All right, number 7. Number 7 is actually an easy question if you remember your translation rules. Here we go. What was your clue word? Hello? Translated. All of these are translation rules. Sit up, wake up. All of these are translation rules. Where did they want us to go? 5 right. Where else? 3 up. Well, what axis runs from left to right? Which axis runs from left to right? The x-axis. So this one has to go with the x. Well, this one's out then and this one's out. Y'all remember this? Up and down goes with the y-axis. Now we have to realize, is right positive or negative? Positive. So this one's out. Is up positive or negative? Positive. In my opinion, that's another easy question. Number 8 is so easy, if you miss it, you've got problems. It's what was the clue word? And how do you identify a function? You perform a vertical line test. How many times can it touch? It can only touch the picture one time. So everybody look at A. If I do, here's my picture. Only this line is my picture. If I draw a vertical line, how many times did it touch? So is that a function? Yes. Okay, hold on. We're going to go through each one. Look at B. If I drew a vertical line here, how many times did it touch? Just once. But what if I drew it here? So that's why this one is not a function. Look at C. If I drew a vertical line, how many times did it touch? Twice. So that's not a function. And look at D. If I drew a vertical line, how many times would that touch? Every single spot. Remember that a function does not have to be one line. So y'all look real quick. If I had a picture that looked like this, and that's my little graph, and I had like, I don't know, a line right here, and then a line right here, that is a function. Because if I did a vertical line test, it would only touch once. So it can be different pictures on one graph, as long as the line only touches once. Next question. Aquarium 1 contains 4.6 gallons of water, and Luis will begin filling Aquarium 1 at a rate of 1.2 gallons per minute. Aquarium 2 contains 54.6 gallons of water, and he's gonna drain that aquarium at a rate of 0.8 gallons per minute. After how many minutes will both aquariums contain the... What does same mean in math? So I'm going to make an equation, right? I need an mx plus b for aquarium 1 and an mx plus b for aquarium 2. Now, in my opinion, this would be a challenging question. So if you get all the easy questions right and you miss this one, you'll be okay. But I do think a lot of you will get this right, so let's look at it. Which one of these gets the x for aquarium 1? Why? Because it says, and is it filling it or draining it? So it's positive. So 1.2x plus 4.6. Now let's look at aquarium 2. It has 54.6 gallons of water, but it's draining. What does that mean? The slope will be negative. So which one of these numbers is going to get the negative? The 0.8. 0.8x needs a negative sign. Plus 54.6. Where do I solve this at? In my y equals. Everybody go to y equals and make sure you know how. Because sometimes they'll just give you an equation to solve. All right. 1.2x plus 4.6. After I put it in, where do I hit? Second trace. Option 5, wait for it to graph. Can I see both lines? No, so what do I need to do? Zoom out. Ooh, can I see them still? I can see it, but I need to zoom out again. Zoom out. And when you hit zoom out, you have to hit enter. There we go. Now I can do second trace, option 5, enter, enter, enter. And my answer is 125. Make sure you know how to zoom out if you can't see the intersection. Any questions? So you hit second trace, option 5, wait for it to graph, enter, enter, enter. And your answer is always right here where it says intersection x equals. All right, next question. Was this on your test yesterday? Yes. What's the clue word that we learned to write on our star chart today? Diagonal. So you go draw a picture. What's the picture I'm going to draw? A rectangle. Then I'm going to label that rectangle 4 feet by 13 feet. Well, I should have put that one as 4 and this one is 13. It doesn't matter, though. And I draw a diagonal, and what have I really just made? A right triangle. And I'm solving for side. What am I solving for? Side C. So I do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 4 squared plus 13 squared equals c squared. Do I add or subtract? Add. So here we go. 4 squared plus 13 squared is 185. What do I do to that answer? Square root it. You square root your answer. And I get 13.6. All right, the next question's pretty easy. What's the clue word? Dilated. Stop right there and take off the 2 answer choices that are not multiplication rules. Which ones can I take off? F and G, because dilation rules multiply. Then it says you're going to dilate it to create something smaller. So would you multiply by a number bigger than 1 or smaller than 1? Smaller than 1. Which one of these is smaller than 1? 0.9. And if you don't know, you can turn that into a decimal. All right, number 12. It says triangle ABC was transformed to create a new triangle. Which rule describes this? Stop right there and think about it. Did they make this shape bigger or smaller? Or did they just slide it? So they started here, do y'all agree? And they slid it down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units down. Did they go right or left? No. So what changes when you go up and down, the x-axis or the y-axis? Okay, which one says that? F. Okay, number 13 is an annoying question, but you can do it. It says simple interest, but you're comparing it. It says 2 customers took out loans from a bank, so we got Henry and we've got Ingrid. We're going to compare them. Henry took out a 4-year loan. He paid $5,000, or he got it for $5,000. He paid 4.2% simple interest. So I'm going to do PRT. Ingrid took out 6-year loan, $5,000, and paid 3.9% interest. Simple, PRT. At least they're both the same formula, right? Where did I find that formula? Right here. Simple interest, PRT. It says, what is the difference between their interest? So I'm going to solve them, and then what am I going to do with my 2 answers if it says difference? I'm going to subtract them. So I'm just going to do P, 5,000, times R. What do I have to do to this percent? Change it to a decimal by dividing by 100, which is 0.042 times 4 years. Same thing here, 5,000 times my rate, which is 0.039, because I changed it to a decimal, times 6. And I just type those in my calculator. I get 840. And then the same thing over here, 5,000 times 0.039 times 6, and I get 1,170. And then I take those and I subtract them. So 1,170 minus 840 is $330. So it's not a hard question, but it's just not fun to solve it. The last question is one that if you miss, then you'll probably not even be trying. What was the clue word on it? But you also had to read that it said what? Not linear. What does linear mean? A straight line. Is A a straight line pattern? Is B a straight line pattern? Is C a straight line pattern? No. Is D a straight line pattern? Yes. Do not miss a question like number 14. Okay, put your name on these and put them in the box. I will put a grade on them, and then I will be giving them back to you for study guides.